How's it going, everyone? We're here to check out the potential skins to make it in this next week. If you're new, this might look like a lot of skins, you get really excited, but hold on, it doesn't mean that they are all going to make it into the game. Only 8 to 10 or so are chosen every week, typically only 8. So, yeah, these are just skins that could make it in, that hit the requirements and are awesome. So there you go. So first off, we got the Force Raiders burlap set by Igor, and with that we've got the pants and the, well, trousers I should say, the shirt, and of course the burlap head wrap. So there we go. Definitely a very nice addition to this set. Next, we have a combo that kind of makes you look like a dirt clawed monster or something. It's pretty funny, but the whole thing here is the low poly hide vest and shorts, and then you got the burlap head wrap, and yeah, this is just really crazy looking. Definitely very unique. Next, we've got a fireman's outfit for you with the firefighter set by Soddenser, and as you can see here, we've got lots of little red straps, and then you've got the yellow reflective, and then back here you've got it where it says fire. I mean, technically it's upside down, but since our hoodies never go up, it kind of makes sense to put it that way. So there we go. Next, we've got a sports set for you here, and yeah, I think it's just Sport OK or something, or Sport K, something like that is what they did for the brand. But yeah, a lot of people have tried to do kind of different jumpers, and I could see a lot of people always enjoying them when they pop in. So hey, you never know. Next, we've got the Black Fire set by Legacy, and as you can see, it's got this really cool kind of inverted color kind of design going on, which is very neat. There we go. Next, we have a very cool looking hoodie and pants. This is the Hard Suit by Shedmon, and yeah, the whole thing looks like it's wearing plated armor, but that's one of those things where Hulk kind of has that rule, well, don't make you know, hoodie and pants or clothing look like they're armored. But this is so cool looking, it makes you wish we had something like this in Rust, for real, and that it was an actual set of armor. But, or at least the leggings for high qual, right? I mean, that's pretty cool. Next, we have a kind of like SWAT theme for you. This is the Night Ops set, and as you can see here, it says Raid or Die, so there you go. And Rust on the back, so definitely a very nice kind of SWAT-y looking set. Next, we have a jacket for you here. This is the Biker Gang jacket, and as you can see, it has cut off arms, and then back here you've got kind of like a demon wearing a bandana over some flames. So definitely has a very biker punk kind of look. But not least, we've got the high qual for the Eco set, and as you can see here, it translates to the high qual pretty well with a cork. Definitely a good look with it. All the pieces kind of fit well. It really does kind of look like the metal plating is just kind of like pinned over it and so forth. So we've got our deployables, and we've got a single furnace for you this week. It's the Trash Monster. So as you can see here, everything's made of kind of like scrap metal and so forth. Cinder block bricks. I mean, there's a little bit of everything kind of crammed in there. And yeah, we'll come back to actually light this up at the end, of course. Then we've got some boxes for you. The first one here is the Vampire Metal Box. Then we've got the Street Art box for you. Moving along, we've got our labeled boxes starting with Infinity Armor. Next, we've got the Hawaiian Sulfur Storage. Then over here, we have the Tech Trash Ammo Storage. Then over here, we've got the Outline Meds and the Mosaic Sulfur. So there we go. Lots of different sets trying to get in. Next, we've got a target for you, and the target is a pizza, and it has pineapple, and it's basically a Hawaiian pizza. There you go, pineapple and Canadian bacon. But on the back here, it says no pineapple, which is pretty funny. So you gotta love the whole thing. Definitely a goofy, silly little target. Then we've got something very creative over here. We've got a rug, and the whole thing looks like freshly put up and pasted drywall. And by pasted, I mean like the little holes are puttied in. So that's what I meant to say there. But yeah, you could do your whole base up to look like it. Definitely a cool little idea. Then over here we have a really well done rug that actually looks like it's made out of bones, and it's so hard to work with the flat surfaces, but this one really has a nice pop to it that gives you that kind of bone feeling. Yeah, that came out weird. So one way or another, we're gonna move on to doors. First up, we've got one wooden door for you. This one here is the knock knock door. So there you go. Take a look on both sides. Then we've got our sheet metal doors. Starting off, we've got the Toxic Wolf one, which has two different versions, a glow and a non-glow. Then over here, we've got some bulletproof glass for you. Followed by a... Whoa, don't know what happened there. Sorry about that. Followed by a security door. And the heated metal door. Then we've got the jalopy door, so the whole thing looks like it's kind of made of old car parts. Definitely think that's a cool idea. And then we've got some more rust art and drawing over here with a My First Base sheet metal door. Like the tank down there. Then over here we have a continuation of the actual kind of like tile art with Rattlefang metal door. Then moving on, we've got some garage doors. This cool looking high-tech one is the Defcon garage door by Stabby. Then we've got a cardboard garage door for you. It comes in two versions, a colored and non-colored. This is obviously the colored one. Then moving on, we've got some pop-ups for you with the pop-up garage door. Then we've got some neon cactuses with, well, the neon cactus door. I mean, I pretty much said the name there in the sentence. Moving along, we've got a kind of armored-looking garage door with the metallic garage door from Hishaki. Then we've got something to go along with the theme of the coming update with the Kaboom, or with the update that just came, I should say. Kaboom garage door. Then we've got kind of an industrial look on this one. This would be the cooling station garage door, which has a glowing and a non-glow version. And then we've got a little more of a kind of sci-fi look to the shelter garage door by ThatGermanGuy. Moving on, we've got two armor doors for you. The first one here is the Cobalt Container door by Cubist. And then the second one is going to be our Day and Night garage door by Pokerface. And lastly, we've got a double armor door from the Dungeon set. So if we go ahead and pop through these, we can take a look at the opposite sides. And we can go ahead and take a look at the glow as well. Moving along to our garage doors. Oh, that screen glow. Then we've got our boxes over here. And lastly, we have our furnace. Alright, next up we've got our tools and weapons, and starting off we've got a funky hammer for you. If you check out this one here, it's got eyes and tentacles and I don't know, there's all sorts of things going on with it. This is simply named Worm. Not Worm Hammer, just Worm. Next we've got a rock for you, and it's a bag of rust coins called the Pocket Money Rock. There we go. Then we've got some tools for you, and these look like they're straight 3D printed. These are the 3D plastic stone tools. And definitely a really cool effect with the holes in there. It doesn't look too flimsy, and actually does look like it was 3D printed. Then we got some metal tools for you right here with some banana sets. Yeah, this is the Hatchanana and the Pickaxe-nana. Yeah, yep, you guys did that on purpose so that you'd have to hear me try to say that, because yeah, that was bad. Next, we've got some bows for you. Starting off, we've got a kind of construction-y one with the, well, construction site bow. I mean, I keep doing that with the names. Look at it, I'm like, this looks construction-y. Oh, hey, that's the name of it. Then moving on, we've got a bow that is all burned up with the Roots of Cinder bow. Definitely quite cool. And does not glow. It just has a nice bright effect to it. Then we've got another bow for you, and this one is all shimmery and bright. This is the Pearlescent Hunting Bow. Definitely very shiny and cool. Then we've got a little pink bow for you with a blue bowstring. There's little flowers and everything. This is the Flower Power Bow. Moving on, we now have a Crossy for you, and it should look pretty familiar as it's part of the Dragon Rage set. There we go. We can take a little further look down the back there, and of course we'll reload it. And there we go. Last in this group here, we've got Nyoka for you, and it's part of what looks like could be a set for the Thermometer. So hey, here's the Thermometer Nyoka. And it does actually have a glow, just like the bone knife. The monitor lights up on it. Moving on, we've got some pythons for you. First one is, of course, part of the Chemical Burn set. As you can see, there are definitely quite a few melts going on through there. Aiming down the sights, you've got kind of a tan brown thing going on. Next, we've got the Dentist Python for you, and yeah, wow, there's teeth all over it. Kind of has a funky art style with it, and yeah, it might not quite be for everyone. Aiming down the sights, you got kind of like a tiled grip and some red for the sight. Next, we've got another python for you, and this one is the Medic's Python. As you can see, it is the Healing Python, actually, is the specific name, and would be for the medic, you know, but I wouldn't recommend shooting anyone with this one if you're familiar with other games with healing pistols, because it doesn't work that way in Rust. Definitely has a nice little green tip there, which is always cool to have the different colors going on. Then we've got another python. I told you there was a few, and this one definitely has a bit of a ancient theme to it. This is the Stone Age Python. I like how it says head there. 1 head, 2 head, 3 head, 4 head. I like that. Then moving on, we've got yet another python for you, and this one is a continuation with the line art set. It also comes in a yellow version, which you can check out down in the link in the description of the video below. Aim down the sights, you've got a very bright, shiny white tip. Next, we've got another python for you, and this one is the live sketch python. And yeah, as you can see, it kind of looks like it's in the process of being drawn by hand. And that's just a really cool idea, and I think it translated pretty well also. Aiming down the sights here, you've got some of that half-drawnness going on there. And there is that reload. Next up, we've got yet one more python for you, and this one has a very kind of sleek design. This is the Collector Python by Lasaint, and yes, it's got this really nice kind of fading orange outline to it with that matte black, and it's just very quite nice. Aiming down the sides here, you've got a kind of lighter orange tip to the sight there. And there's that reload. Next, we've got some saps for you. And the first one is the Doodle Sap. It's been a little bit since we've seen any pieces from this set. Nice to see one pop on in. Aiming down the sights, as you would expect, you've got a red versus black sight. And there's that reload. Next, we've got another sap for you, and this one is the Deadline Sap. And it comes in an alternate version without the text, because sometimes, you know, text is a risky thing with guns, as the devs don't always like it. Aiming down the sights here, you've got that little kind of like laser boom and a red versus the black for the sights. Next, we've got another sap with this little stretched out old tiger art along the side of it. This is the Kaza semi-automatic rifle. I hope I said that right. Probably didn't. Nothing too fancy there on the sights themselves, as it's just gunmetal against gunmetal. Then we've got another sap for you, and this one is part of the Monster set with the Monster 51 sap. Definitely has some bright colors and some mean teeth. Aiming down the sights here, you've got white versus red for the sight. And let's go ahead and pop a reload there. Next, we've got a custom for you, and this one is the Desert Military SMG. As you can see, it has the dusty kind of military look to it. Aiming down the sights, you've got some red tips and a star. Next, we've got another custom for you, and well, it's that nutty dog again. And this time, it looks like he's just letting out a fart, and the trigger isn't anything weird this time around. But hey, there he is, the good boy, SMG. Next, we've got something a little more techie for you, and this is the Prototype SMG. It also comes in a green version as well, When you aim down the sights, you've got like a radar kind of screen popped up. However, the sights themselves are just kind of black. Unfortunately, not any differentiation there. Moving along, we've got some Thompsons for you, and the first one here is the monochrome Thompson. Definitely has a cool little design to it. As you move around, you can see that the design actually also changes a little bit, and when you aim down the sights, again, nothing too much going on, just kind of gray with this one here. Next, we've got another Thompson for you, and this one has some very cool art with this owl and this tree. This is the Night Hunter Thompson. Aiming down the sights here, you've got a iron tip against the kind of green paint. And there's that reload. Next, we've got an MP5 for you, and this one's just beautiful and shiny. This is the Oceanus MP5. You can see that gold versus the blue. Aiming down the sides here, we've got pretty much just blue on blue, but there is a little bit of that gold depending on how that light hits it. There's that reload. Last in this group, we've got another MP5 for you, and this one has this weird angry face on the side. It's the Wild Plant. It kind of reminds me of like a watermelon. I don't know why, it just does. But aiming down the sights here, you can see there's a bit of a red faded tip to it. And this actually has a glowing and a non-glowing version, so if we actually killed lights, you can see this crazy little face and everything just lights up. Quite cool, actually. Next, we've got some semi-auto rifles for you. This first one here has kind of a nice clean-cut look to it. This is the First Strike SAR by Phi. Aim down the sights, you've got some green and red tips to there, or green, I should say red tip and green glow dots, but they don't actually glow, so that's why I didn't want to say that. Next, we've got another one for you. This has more of a kind of race look to it. It's the Electro SAR. So you got that kind of electrocution bolts going through there. Aiming down the sights, you've got this angry kind of, I guess, robot teeth, and then the nice red versus the blue there for the sight. Next, we've got one more for you, and this one is the Gothic Warlord. As you can see, it's a nice addition to that set. Fits right in with the theme of it. Aiming down the sights here, you have some red dots. And there's that reload. Next, we've got some AKs for you, and this one is the Infernal AK. And man, it just has this cool kind of like cooling lava kind of look to it, you know? Cooling lava flow. Aiming down the sights, you've got some gold versus that lava black-gray. Then we also have the Police AK for you, and yeah, or Copper actually, and this would be a continuation in the Copper set. So it's good to see some more love go to that set. I know quite a few people have liked it. Aiming down the sights here, you've got a little on-off switch, and some yellow tips to the sights. Last in this group, but not our last AK, we have a very artistic and bright one, the Spring Bloom AK. It comes in a glass version and kind of just a painted. And I thought the glass painted or painted glass definitely has more of a pop to it. So I wanted to show you guys that one, but you can check out the other one down in the description. As you can see, we have a pretty colorful sight. And there's that reload. Next, we have a much more sci-fi kind of AK for you. This one is the Gamma AK. It comes in a stock and stockless version. As you can see, this is obviously the stockless one. And aiming down the sides here, you've got a magenta versus the purple and blue. Moving on, we've got another AK for you. This one's got some art on the side, the Fall Accident. And, well, I don't know how much of an accident it is if there's a Grim Reaper around, but hey, maybe they just knew it was coming up. Aiming down the sides here, you've got black versus the kind of brownish color going on there. Next, we've got another AK for you in the Narcos set. This is the Narcos Dark version, so definitely a very nice dark kind of metallic color. But yeah, there we are aiming down the sights. You've got a red tip. Then we've got another one for you, and this one's got an oceany theme. This is the Underwater AK. Aiming down the sights here, you've got a blue tip to the gold sight. Or bronze, I would say. It's kind of golden bronze. I don't know. You guys, what do you think? Then we've got another AK. This one is all sorts of blinged up. This is the Industry AK. And yeah, this might be a bit much with all the emeralds and the actual, like, necklaces hanging off it and the dollar signs, but who knows. Aiming down the sides here, you've got some more emeralds and dollar signs. This is definitely an AK that would say, I don't know. Moving on, and it's got this cool bones of shark. It's the fish in bone, and this is the swamp version. It also comes in kind of a black gray version as well. You've got a little hook with a skull up there front by the front grip. Aiming down the sides, you've got two hooks behind the skull and a kind of Jolly Rogers, and then you've got that faded green and scraped off metal for the sights. Next, we've got an LR for you, and this one here has some very kind of polygonal look to it. This is the Retro Reflector. There we go. LR 300. Aiming down the sides, you've got some red rings and tips. Fits right well with the design. Then we have a Bolty. It's been a little bit since we see some Bolty skins pop up, and this, of course, is part of the Arctic set, so you can see it says Arctic right there, and you should recognize the camo by now. Aiming down the sides here, not too much going on, but, you know, it is a bolt action. Last but not least, we've got two satchels for you, and the first one is made to look like a C4, and yeah, I think that's just really fun, and they did an amazing job at making it, you know, really pick up that C4 look. Last but not least, we've got one more satchel for you, and this one here is the Vandal Satchel. And yeah, the whole thing kind of looks like an old vandalized payphone, rotisserie payphone, I should say. And yeah, it's just, again, another hilarious design that really pans out well on a satchel. And there's a little bit of glow there to the lights, as you can see. But that's going to do it, everyone. So sound off down in the comment section below. Which ones are you hoping to make it in this week and why? Always love trying to get that feedback to the right people. So, you know, leave me comments, either if it's for me or whoever, I'll get to the right people. I hope you've been enjoying your wipe, and have a great one.